What is up, guys? Welcome to the Fisherman's live stream. This one is going to be the Apex giveaway. We're giving away quite a lot, so make sure if you can hear everything, if everything's coming through loud and clear, leave a comment below. I've seen some comments already, so that's perfect. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Fisherman's live stream. But let's get this show on the road. So right now in front of me, you're seeing NQ. You know, we've been kind of bouncing around these both levels, right? You can see over here, bouncing around here, and then bouncing around here. Okay, so just bounce around these supply and demand areas. Nothing really too special, right? I'm sure most of you guys can agree. Usually my usual trading is on GC, but I know a lot of you guys trade NQ, so I don't mind going live and posting it inside there. So just let me know if everything is coming through loud and clear, everything's all good that way. I'm sure it is though, I'm sure it is. So the live giveaway will be held very, very shortly, so make sure you like and subscribe because that's the only way you're going to be able to win. And you have to leave a comment inside the YouTube chat, okay? So it could be a question about OrderFlow, it could be anything, and that's how you're going to be able to enter in and win. Okay, so the bot has entered the chat, so there we go, guys. So now, there we go. Now we could start the giveaway on the road. So just let me know if everything's coming through all good, if you could hear everything loud and clear. So we are just going to upload a story really quick on Instagram, and then that is going to be me ready to analyze. So if you guys want to see anything at all being analyzed, just hit me up because I am perfectly fine with that. So I know a lot of you guys trade NQ, GC, ES, and pretty much the usual suspects, but if you I could do anything right here. So crypto, it's whatever, right? Whatever you guys want, we will start analyzing that. So leave some suggestions. Obviously you can only enter this giveaway if you have a comment left in the comment section on this live, okay? And then we're going to be giving it away live, so in about 25 minutes we will do our first giveaway. So we have 3 giveaways for Halloween, and we got a few other surprises for later on in the stream. Okay, so make sure you guys are active because that's the only way you can win, okay, is if you're active. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and be active. So far so good though, everything's looking good on my end. So let's go. Just making sure everything's clean cut. Looks clean cut to me. So again, just any questions, anything at all, we are going to do our best to answer them inside this live. But just I've been super duper busy at the moment. You know, with Halloween and stuff coming up. I've been traveling, even though I'm still here, I'm still traveling. So lots of travel. Okay, so let me just check one last thing and then we will be ready to go. Okay. I just need to post this in really quick. Okay. There we go, so I'll pin that. Okay. So that is us ready. And we could just go back over here, go over here, go over here. That should be everything. So, right now I run NQ, because I know a lot of you guys do trade around that sort of style of, but I digress, let's go. So, yeah, with NQ we're just hovering around these two sort of supply and demand areas, right? First area, I actually went over this in a YouTube video, was we had this sort of B-shaped profile, right? If I just zoom out here as well. Okay, if we just go over here, okay, look at this. Okay, we came into this area, look at this. On this candle we had a bunch of selling imbalances. What happened to those selling imbalances? They were getting absorbed. Okay, so we came into here, tapped all these levels, opened up the next candles, tried to sell off, and look what happened. A bunch of selling imbalances, nothing happened, and then on that candle we ended up getting what? A beautiful, lots of green buying imbalances coming in. That was your easy entry criteria. This is on NQ, so, and that was a perfect entry criteria. Where is your target? Well, it's going to be the next area of balance, or supply, if you want to call it that. And then you can see here, right, we tapped that once, so we came very close, right? A lot of people probably exited. How many ticks were we away from here? 18 ticks, so it's, you know, quite a few ticks away. But then right over here, tapped it perfectly. Look at that beautiful reaction. And if we look at it again, another perfect reaction, right? Came back down here again. Look at this. Okay, so let me just go over this one as well. Okay, because this is just like prime example of you know, the setup that I go over inside Fosterman's, right? So right down here, you can see here there was a bunch of selling imbalances, right? Look at this, all just getting absorbed. Really clear-cut B-shaped profiles as well, right? So, you know, we had this profile right here, B-shape right over here, B-shape, right? So just a lot of absorption happening here. The easiest way to spot that though is going to be by looking at the imbalances. It's the easiest way. And then look at this, right? So you're seeing a bunch of selling imbalances, and then right here, look at this, a bunch of buying imbalances. Easily protect yourself below these lows, and then off to the races we go. So, you know, right now we're coming into this sort of area around here. So let's see how we react live around this sort of area. Okay, so we just tapped that level, right? So this is going to be perfect actually. Okay, so no real buyers really active around these highs, right? Buying imbalances, bunch of selling balances being respected. You know, this is not a signals channel, but I would definitely be looking at this. Michael. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. For me, it's nearly good night. Look at that. It's nighttime for me over here. But yeah, so pretty much this is just the NQ, what we're going over right now. Obviously we have this giveaway as well, which is live, which is perfect, right? You know, a lot of you guys entered into the giveaway. We actually had, I think it was 3 people would rather the Fosterman's Pro instead of the prize, which was the Apex. Crazy or what? So, you know, we still got them anyway. So just let me know. I was just watching these buyers actually really quick. Seen a bunch of sells. Let me just turn on. Where are we? Okay, turn off show the script. Look at that delta. It's just hammering up. No real sign of slowing down here just yet. But yeah, so you know, there's already 2 entries inside the giveaway, which is perfect. So anytime you guys leave a comment, like and subscribe, that's the entry into the giveaway. Okay, and we will be doing this giveaway within the next 25 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So within the next 25, we'll be doing this giveaway. And you have to make sure you guys are in the comments. So the winner will be announced. You have 5 minutes to just show yourself, show that you won, and then there you go. And this is for Apex. So 3 account sizes. You can choose whatever account size you want, from 50k all the way up to 300. And once you choose that, you're good to go. Pop these highs right here. Let me turn on this. Okay. So, for you guys that are joining and wondering what this chart is, this is pretty much just the Delta profile chart, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys are already pretty familiar with it, especially you guys that are in the group, right? These white boxes inside these Delta profiles are going to be the points of control. So you can see here, right, like sometimes we get 1, 2, 3 prints of the points of control. It actually almost looks like there's 4 prints of this. You know, that's kind of like an illusion, right? It looks like there's 4 points of control, but there's actually only 3 here. So 3 points of control, this is what that is. And yeah, I'm sure most of you guys can do you also use the heat map on Addis, or mainly footprint and delta? So I like just using the footprint and delta, but the heat map is quite powerful on Addis. So if I actually just go over here, DOM level heat map, let me change this to this sort of color, add the chart. So it is pretty powerful, right? And then I could actually go inside here and add just actual DOM really quick. You see here it's just showing these sort of areas, right? What do we actually have up here? 62 cells. So yeah, you know, it is pretty powerful, right? But it's just not my sort of style. But I do know a lot of guys that do use this and find it very, very helpful, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm more just taking what's actually you know, happening, right? So like, you know, I just, with the depth market and stuff like that, it's just not my cup of tea. But I do find it pretty cool. I can definitely see why a lot of traders do use it. But yeah, so you see right now, look at this, we're kind of moving sideways on the CBD, seeing some exhaustion prints, so we'll see what's happening around here. Let me actually just get this volume profile a little bit cleaner, right, to like the most recent sort of area. So yes, what do we got? Minus 126 inside here. Those buys, yeah, those buys are kind of skewing things a little bit. But yeah, look at that. So depending how this candle closes, really. Let me just turn on bar timer as well, because I do find that pretty useful. And let me change the size. So yeah, realistically the only bar timer I would need on the chart is going to be that bottom corner one, simply because it's just a 3 minute. Every other, I know a new minute's just opened there now, and then a new 5's about to open. So yeah, next minute, if we drop 25 ticks, 6 points, you know, this is looking a lot more bearish in my opinion. But we're hitting these imbalances right around here. There it is, guys. Can we close below this level in the next 20? It's looking very likely. It's looking very likely. Six seconds. Let's see. See, at this point, I would like to just see big buyers starting to step in. Then you can just take it to the next supply area, which would be right up here, 73 ticks. So realistically, just waiting, sit in your hands, wait. But I don't see no big buyers stepping in just yet. But buying imbalance is really nothing, really, is there? So let's see what we can do here, guys. Of course, make sure you just leave comments inside this live. Obviously, any questions, be happy to get answering them. Look at that drop off. Hey man, what do you think of GC right now? Let's see. So we go over to GC, get everything loaded up, and let me just go over here. Legal filters. GC. Okay, everything looks good on my end. Okay, so we're hitting this. Let's see, around here. So we did support from here, right? So they're realistically breaking that there. Where are we now, actually? Within this sort of area. Just coming over to here. So breaking this is, you know, CBD's falling off a cliff. All these big sell. Every time we come to like some form of supply. So we'll see how we react to here, right? And then go from there. OrderFlow life build of the market. Home at, it's nice to see you in here, bro. Congratulations on the win. So Home at actually won the Fossilman's Pro. So we're actually giving away inside this live. All you have to do is just leave a comment and you can win a Apex account of your choice. So whether you want 25k all the way up to 300k, we will be drawing this within the next 25 minutes. So 45 minutes into the stream, that's when we'll draw this. And then obviously, if the winner is not active inside the comment section, well then we'll do a redraw. So until we have someone saying I won, the giveaway will go on, which is perfect. So that's what we're doing anyway, guys. But yes, hitting around here, you're seeing some big buyers stepping in. You see these kind of like flowing up. Let me just pull something like this. 18 points, right? Nick. Hey, Nick. Crypto is juicy today. It is. So that's good. That's good. We're getting a lot of comments coming in now. So make sure you guys are just dropping those comments. What size of the big trades bubbles you have for GC? Also need to test the delta bars. They look very nice. Delta bars. Yes, I actually have seen them. They do. Where you can like change the OrderFlow delta. You're right. Where was it? Was it in technical? It was in one of these anyway, but it was pretty nice because I was trying them out for a bit. So let me just delta colored candles. Is that what you're talking about? Because I do remember just turning these on and they were pretty cool. So you can see just here like highlights like all the delta and stuff like this. It is pretty cool. What size is the big? Oh yeah, big trades, right? So big trades is going to be separated trades, and it will be minimum 10. I don't have a maximum on. It's going to be separated, minimum 10. I don't have a cluster selection on. I just don't really like it, and I just keep the ellipses instead of like squares or whatever, which is pretty cool. So there's pretty much the settings. You can just screenshot that really quick and copy them down. But yeah, I prefer separated trades. Another cool tool would be like cluster search. Yeah, so you can like search for like the point of control level of each candle, so you don't really need a lot of data on your chart, like it really depending how you trade, but you can just change those settings on the cluster search, which is really cool. So you could like say like delta, right, and if delta has a minimum value of let's say 100, that's quite big actually, so let me go 20, and I'll turn these to ellipses and I'll keep it on pink, right, and you'll see here, you know, so this will show if I turn on my delta, right, you'll see here, look, 63 positive delta, right, so it'll color it, but you can also add 2 of these I think, and then you could just change, so you can do like the bid and then the ask, so you can just add 2 of these, do bid on one, yeah, bid, and then ask on the other, which is also pretty cool. But yeah, I think the big trades is honestly like just you know, a really cool like just visualization of this, right? Like you've seen a bunch of sellers stepping into gold there, and then you started to see buyers starting to, you know, take control of the next candles, which is just like, you know, after that, look at this, like, you know, buyers starting to take control. Look at all these buying imbalances, right? So you had selling imbalances, and just wicks coming up, and you know, that would actually be interesting. Let me just check here really quick. See, like I just know. Look at this, the POC of this candle. So this is like, you know, if you're in the Fosterman's Pro, you'll know this setup already. But it's like literally hit that sort of demand area, come back up. You know, you get your confirmation, and then you know where's your entry is going to be from that POC. And look at that right there. Literally just tap that POC. Buyers start stepping in straight away, and from those buyers, this is so far, right. We're actually hitting some orders right now, so this is what we're coming into. Just keeping an eye on that, right? And this pretty crazy target, right? Like, so let's say you would have entered off that POC, because I do know some of you guys inside the group would have entered off that. So if you did, leave a comment. But there's 16 points to the upside already. If you're wanting to target around here, obviously those big trades are definitely going to be TP1, that's for sure. The cluster searches on Addis is a stunning, cool feature. Yeah, it is. I think it's really cool. You know, it's got a bunch of cool stuff. But yeah, these are probably going to be like my, you know, my go-tos, right? Anything in my favorites, pretty much my go-to. I'm waiting on them to, you know, just tinker around with the open, high, low, close plus levels, because this is just so handy, right? You've got, this will sort of, you know, these open, high, low, close plus will sort of be like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's on Trading View anyway. But instead, this will be like inside Addis, which is just, you know, it's going to be way better. The initial balance and all that cool stuff as well. But yeah, I was wondering, so let me just go over here, turn this on, and I'll go over here really quick and turn on current day, and let me just go over here, profile value areas. Yep, there we go. So this is going to be the daily value area high, low, POC. Daily value area low is actually pretty far down, right? Let me just edit the colors. I do find them a little bit too dark, so I like just turning them on a little bit cleaner like that, right? Just lock that up so I don't end up doing it away. But yeah, taking profit around that huge. Look at this. Buy orders, sell orders, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was this sort of area around here. So you can see here, we came into it once, and then obviously people expecting that a second time. So look, if I just look at all these big sell orders, right? But if I just go something like this, right? You can see here, we came into it once, people kind of expecting that to happen again, maybe sort of front run sort of style play. So that was that sort of like flip, right? Came over here, all these orders are underwater, so they're more than likely TPing and stuff like that. So yeah, not a bad TP area. Let me see, was there any imbalances? Yeah, there was just some imbalances, nothing crazy. So that's another reason why I like the big trades. It's just, having like, a couple levels of like, I go into this, I actually created a new video, and I kind of went over that. Was the reason for like having a couple sets of confirmations, right? So like, watching what is going on here. A cool would be cluster statistics, right? And then you go over here, show delta volume, turn off session, apply. Right, and actually let me center this. So one thing I don't really like about this is just center line. So you can see like, just the delta coming in, what sort of volumes coming in higher. you just want to see this move supported, right? Using the cluster stats. I prefer volume up here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tool as well. But yeah, seeing what's going on around here. Look at this, right? As soon as we ended up approaching here, look at this. Buyers sort of, stepped away. Sellers are starting to take control. Let's see if buyers can start, stepping in again. Obviously the key thing here is going to be like big buyers stepping in, right? That's going to be like the most obvious sort of reversal sign, right? And then you've got just buyers stepping in on the delta. Another really cool one that kind of doesn't muddy up your charts would be candle statistics. And you can see here, so if I add this, and let me take away the box. I don't really like that. And I change this to white. Right, so it doesn't really muddy it up. And that's another really cool way just to like, start seeing things like, look at this, 67, 500, 441, and then 310. And now look at this, like as soon as we start to reverse, we're starting to see a little bit more volume coming in. So, keeping your eyes on these sort of things is really cool. But again, you could just visually, you can see this just from like, a couple things, right? You can see it straight away from the delta profile. You can see it from the CVD. You can see it through the big trades, imbalances. Like right over here, look at this. The buying imbalances, selling imbalances. You're seeing these selling imbalances literally filled straight to the tick, right? But again, if you guys have like any suggestions, I don't mind like just going on to a random asset. I think one of the last live streams, like someone wanted me to analyze milk, like literally milk. Milk futures, so honestly, whatever. I'm not going to analyze milk, but anything that like you guys are pretty much interested in, GC, NQ, all that good stuff. I'm happy to go over that. This giveaway will be in the next 15 minutes. So let's see what we're dealing with. So let's see, maybe oat milk, yeah. Oat milk. It is pretty crazy, right? Just some of the things that you could trade, like agricultural stuff, and it is pretty crazy, right? Oh, milk. Phosphorus Pro course is very organised and informative. Thanks Roman for putting it together. It's a great place to get a deep understanding of order flow data and how to use it dynamically. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. So we do have another giveaway planned, right? So obviously we have the giveaway tonight, which is for the Apex accounts, and then we have another Phosphorus Pro giveaway, which is going to be cool. But yeah, I really appreciate that, bro. And then obviously if you have any questions about anything, you already know where to find me. Just DM me inside the Discord, and then we'll try to get you on the right path, because order flow can be tricky, right? Especially for a lot of guys like coming into this space, it can be very tricky just to get a good grasp on things, especially all the concepts, right? Like reading the order flow in the time is like tough, and like look at this, right? Like getting a read on this, that's hard. And so just going through that, obviously these lives are designed to help you guys. That's why I say, like, anything, whatever asset you guys trade or anything sort of help you need, I'm your guy, man. I'll help you. So look at that, just perfect rejection from there. So yeah, because most of the time you wouldn't really think to really look here, right? Like, look at this. You're not really thinking this is any sort of influential area, right? Most people would look at this and just be like, oh, it's just falling, right? And it's not really influential, right? You might think, okay, there might be like a low volume node or something like that, but you're not really thinking like, okay, there's actually going to be like a substantial amount of volume, when clearly there was huge amounts of volume right here, right? So imagine caught in this sideways action, and especially if like you put yourself to break even, right? Like at least breaking past here first before you even go break even, But you could have moved your stop just a little bit up from there, took some risk off, so took some profit there, a little bit of risk off, and let the rest run. And then obviously breaking this sort of influential area first, then just moving to break even, right? Because then at that point, if we literally start reversing from here, the price is just not going to accept. So yeah, especially if you guys have any questions, any tools, any settings, trust me, I can help you out there, that's for sure. Look at this, look at this. Yeah, I actually done a YouTube video today about scalping on the NQ, and it's pretty much just going over a confirmation model, which is the P and the B shape profiles. It's pretty standard in order flow. I'm sure like a lot of you guys have heard about it and stuff, so it's not really for order flow traders, it's like literally I think basic 101 sort of information, but a lot of guys that are just getting into it, right, that sort of P and B shape profile absorption type style confirmations, they're not really that understood, so I feel as if that would be a cool video, right? It's a short 5-minute video. You watch that and then start adding it to your own sort of analysis, right? Like just looks like we want to break these highs, but like literally just 2 minutes ago when I was saying about this would have been hard to read, look at this, right? This is like that sort of B-shaped profile. If you watched the video today, you would have understood this. But yeah, just sort of waiting until we break this area again. We could just come back up, start rejecting from here, especially these buying imbalances. So let's see what's going to go happen around here. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys, what are your settings on the imbalance indicator on the 1 minute time frame? Yeah, look at this, guys. Literally straight away, as soon as I said, if we come back up to here and reject, quite obvious, right? So if the stacked imbalance is, here are the settings, right? You could also just change this to 400, but I don't really notice much of a change, right? So look, there's 300, or there's 400, there's 300, right? Like, there's not really much of a change. And plus, you could just set this to 1, so your imbalance filter to 1, which is pretty cool. And then you could also ignore 0 values, which means like it's not an imbalance based on 0. So like, you know, say 0's here and 1's here, it's not going to show an imbalance. Whereas, but I like to keep these on as well, just because it just gives a little bit more data, right? Like, you know, and that actually helps. So like, you know, you can see most of these, if I just go over here, right, and I turn off ignore 0 values, you look at this, there's like literally no data. And that sort of data where you're seeing like sellers coming in, and no buyers are willing to buy, that's like information that I can start to, you know, really take action from, you know. Is if there's like a bunch of sellers, no buyers really stepping in, that's decent information, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree. Yeah, so if we hold this sort of you know, absorption zone, we'll have to see what happens around there. But we didn't even break this. I think, how many ticks were we away? 2 ticks. 2 ticks. Huge sell. Oh, cool. Huge sell bubbles coming in. So let's see what happens around here. Will they get absorbed as well? These are the sort of questions you're going to be asking yourself. You know, the more you can understand with those questions, the better. So that's the whole deal, right? Is getting a good grasp on things. So yeah, so we'll have to see what's going to happen with these guys. Let me just check this thing out. Okay. So yeah, those buyers just right. If we get past here, just expect like a little quick pump right up to here. Let me see. There's a couple sell imbalances, right? So if we break these highs, right, it's just going to be a quick pump. Right, we just broke those. Look at that, just quick little pump. But if we break these highs right here, we expect like a quick pump, that's for sure. But you know, just monitoring CBD, that's pretty it's not the best, right? Okay, so giveaway will literally be in about 10 minutes, and it'll just be a random comment from this YouTube section that will be picked. Let me see. Ronan, please explain a bit on unfinished auction. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Okay, I'm going to explain that really quick. So if I actually just go to here really quick, go delta and turn this to bid and ask, right, and I could turn on the unfinished auction because they have a cool indicator on Addis, right? So let me just turn this on like that. Right, look at this. So right over here, you can see there was still buyers and sellers right at this price, right? An unfinished auction will have a 0. So see how this is 0 and 1? That's a finished auction, right? That shows that there was no sellers willing to come in, right? But over here, there was buyers and sellers still willing to transact at this price. So if buyers and sellers are still willing to transact at this price, that would show you that this is, well, it would show you that it's an unfinished auction, which means that we have to come back up here and finish this auction until no one really wants to buy or sell, right? The markets move up in, pretty much two ways, right? Markets will move up until A, buyers no longer want to buy, or B, sellers are overpowering buyers. Okay, it's literally that simple. That's the way the market will move. And this sort of like unfinished auction, it's actually is pretty simple actually once you understand it. You can see over here, right? And they usually get visited, by the way. So that's like, you can see over here there was an unfinished auction 2 and 1, right? But we came back, reapproached this, and look at so this is a finished auction, right? But usually unfinished auctions will get revisited. If I just go out here, let's just check, right? Let's look at all this. Unfinished auction, came back up, finished that auction. Unfinished auction, came back up, finished that auction. Okay, you can see over here, we finished this auction right now. So now we're going to end up more than likely coming up here. If we break these highs, these sellers are going to get obliterated, and you're just literally going to see a pump up, right? So mark my words. Break these highs, we're pumping right up. And that's literally, look at all these sellers just stepping in. So that's pretty much that. But yeah, that's an unfinished auction, finished auction. Green cog, tent, PVP and fixed range wide profile. Really helpful. Drawdown was a problem initially, but now I'm getting great entries. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's what I like to hear. That's exactly what I like to hear. That's perfect. You can get really, really good entries off that. So like, look at even just right over here, right? Like this entry right down here. Pretty simple, right? So I done a YouTube video today, and in that YouTube video I explained the 3 things that I look at, right? I look at entry confirmation, or first I'll go over the first. First is entry level. Okay, so what is your entry level? Some people might choose like fair value gaps, Fibonacci levels, supply and demand zones, range points of control, daily value area highs and lows. It doesn't really matter, right? So there's your entry level. Step 2 is going to be entry confirmation. Okay, so what are you using to confirm whether that entry will hold or not? Okay, the overwhelming majority of the industry would use something like statistical analysis, right? So they'll say, out of my last 100 trades, 50 of them rejected from the daily value area high, right? And then, you have to get really granular when it comes to statistical analysis. But then, instead of statistical analysis, you can use order flow, right? So you can then say, I'm still using statistical now, don't get me wrong, but using the order flow side of things, right? So you'll turn around and say, okay, we're seeing big buyers stepping in, we're seeing sellers step away, we're seeing this, we're seeing that, whatever it is, right? Earlier in that YouTube video, I actually said about the P and B shape profiles, right? And that's just showing absorption. So you're showing we hit a level, okay, price comes down, we tap this level, and we see a B shape profile, okay, which literally just looks like a B. If I could find one really quick, there's, these aren't really B. Oh, I actually can't, because there was one literally like 5 minutes ago. So right over here, right, you can see here, this is not this is not like the most beautiful B shape profile, right? We're actually approaching these highs, so let's see if we pop. But this isn't the most beautiful example, but you can see over here there was a bunch of sellers at these lows right here, and they were just getting absorbed like crazy, right? All these sellers were getting absorbed, and that's showing you, okay, they're confirming that this level is good enough to hold. Okay, there's a passive buyer holding this level up. Okay, so that's literally just what that means, right? So you got your level, which it could be whatever you want, the confirmation, which I went over, which was the P and B shape profiles, and then C is going to be your entry zone. So step 3 is going to be your entry zone. So actually down here, which was really nice. Okay, so we hit this level, right? We seen, you could even just argue that we've seen a bunch of absorption happening, right? Or you've seen a bunch of big sellers stepping in. They weren't really getting follow through. That's showing a good amount of absorption. And then we start to see, look what we see, right? I can actually show you down here. Okay, look at this. You're seeing a bunch of selling imbalances stepping in, right? So you're seeing this, then you're seeing, what are you seeing right after this, right? You're seeing us come back up and get a bunch of buying imbalances. Okay, this is showing us that there's initiation. There's buyers willing to initiate to new prices. They're willing to step in right now, right? So you got step 1, hit the level. Step 2, we got the confirmation, okay, which is whatever you know. I have a couple of confirmation setups, but the one I went over earlier was the BNP shape profile, and then C is going to be, okay, now where do we enter, and it's going to be that candle point of control, okay. And I actually went over that. So if you literally go into the WAP page, you can get obviously the full rundown of things. So if we pop this level, 5-7 points, you know, so you know that's really as simple as it gets. Is level, confirmation, and then entry zone, and you literally cannot go wrong with there. Like, you know, I think it honestly is foolproof, and obviously it takes a lot of practice, right? Like, you know, recognizing these things, when to enter, when to not prematurely enter. You know, you can end up getting a really premature enter, and that's fine. You know, you know, I'm not saying that like I don't do that. I do that. So like maybe I entered, you know, let's just say for example, you might enter around here, and then it's like, okay, boom, stopped out. That's fine. Let me enter again. If I see what I want to see, you see it again. Okay, let me enter, right? I know a lot of traders that are still very stuck on, okay, this trade lost, and then they'll not re-enter if they see it again, right? Because they're a little bit fearful or whatever it is, right? So making sure that you still enter from there. Look at this. This is insane. This zone right here. We need to break that zone. Once we break that zone, that'll be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much just like the, and I've done that YouTube video earlier, so you can literally just go watch that. Make sure you like. But it's good that you guys are commenting and stuff. We will have a winner very, very shortly. We're just getting this bot set up. So let me just go over here and get everything pretty much set up nicely. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are very eager to get into this giveaway. So that's literally all you have to do to enter the giveaway, is just leave a comment inside here. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. If you don't like and subscribe, then it will not work, even though you left a comment. So make sure you got that. Okay. So let's see. Select giveaway you want to create. Okay, active chatters, giveaway to active chatters in the chat. So that's going to be you guys. So everyone that's active inside here. I can see all your comments. We got Nick, Homa, Michael, Sam. We got Pear. We got all you guys. So that will be that. So it's pretty simple, right? So I'll share my screen once we do this. I'm going to need to take away some information, right? So let me just take that away. Yeah. Okay. And I'll get this set up, and then I'll literally pick a random winner. So that's perfect, right? Let me just, yeah. Okay, look at this. We're popping here. Remember what I told you guys? Please make sure someone clip that. So once we break this, we're just going to pop Y. Okay, I'll go over why we would have popped there in a sec. Look at that. That's a beautiful pop to the upside. There we go. Literally within 2 candles. Beautiful pop to the upside. And I literally called that. So anyone that's still watching from when I said that once we pop, or once we break these highs, we're going to pop. So when the price returns to this big trades bubbles, they're supporting upside or downside when broken. So when the price returns to the big trade bubbles, they're supporting upside or downside when broken, right? So like, say here for example, right? So there was a bunch. I could quickly go into this. But guys, come on now, was that not the nicest sort of live call you've seen in a while? Look at this. Tap the level, start seeing big sellers come through. That'd be perfect. Tap this range. Oof. Like clockwork, guys. Like clockwork. Let's see. like clockwork. Let's see. Right, so the reason for these big trades, right, is all these were buyers right around this big trades, right? So you can clearly see that these were a bunch of big buyers. If I quickly zoom in, okay, that's quite annoying. So if I go like this, go to cluster settings, scroll all the way down, go for a darker green. I could just go for a lighter green actually. So you see here low 62, right? So the big trades, you could assume that there's a lot of big trades here, right? And once these big traders ended up closing their buy position, okay, so what is this move really fueled by? Okay, so it's like just reading the context really, isn't it? But what is this big move fueled by? Well, more than likely, every time we tapped into here, this buyer was closing, right? New shorts were opening. They thought, okay, we're going to go down. How can you tell? Just by CVD for one. But you're starting to see everything going on here, right? So you're starting to see these big buyers closing their position. You're starting to see new sellers starting to get caught offside. How do we know this? They were getting caught offside. It's simply because of this absorption sort of style where you got this B-shaped profile, right? So you had a B-shaped profile, and then those sellers were getting absorbed, right? So every time we approach these highs, buyers were closing, sellers were like, okay, we're supposed to go down here. But realistically, if you're reading the context of it all, you're like, okay, these buyers are more than likely going to close. You're seeing absorption. You're like, okay, this could potentially be a pop to the upside, right? Especially with CVD just falling off like this, CVD just falling off and not getting any follow through. That is like a key indication that there's a bigger hand holding up price there. So that pop was, pretty certain, right? Like I wouldn't, unless something's really certain, you won't hear me turn around and say we're gonna pop unless we're But yeah, geez, you literally called that move. Yeah, I did for sure. That was really nice, and that literally is just from demand to supply, So let's see what's going to happen here. There are a bunch of sellers hopping in right now. Again, if these sellers get wrecked, you could expect bigger move to the upside, right? Why? Because it's going to be fueled by positions closing. So for one, you want to see new buyers stepping in, right? So the biggest fuel to the fire is going to be positions closing and then new positions entering. If you can get those two things together, you're going to get a huge pop. And right here, you can see that there was a bunch of positions closing. You could see that there was new buyers entering. Okay, so a bunch of some positions closing out here, right? But there was sellers entering. Okay, so they're when we go outside of here, they're going to get trapped, right? And they're going to have to close. Everyone that was entering here, look at this. Stop loss hit, all these times. And, I'm not even going to lie, something that I probably missed. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I was actually, let me turn off the bid and ask. But yeah, I honestly thought there that we broke out of this range, tapped this POC, but we didn't. Which would have been crazy, right? If that would have happened, that would have been pretty nutty, like. But yeah, if this area doesn't get supported, which it's not really looking like sellers are really stepping in, so we're gonna have to wait and see just for a sec. But if they don't, then you could easily just target this next area. So let me just get this moved. Actually, I'll add a new one because I kind of like that where it is. Yeah, so if we don't, you could probably more than likely expect to come up to here, right? Squeeze these guys out. That actually seems like a solid sort of. Look at this. Look at CVD just falling. Every new candle, there's just sellers piling in. This would be like max pain, right? Just come in, boom. I don't even know if we would hold this with the amount of sellers that we would squeeze out. But there's a lot of sellers, so someone's going to have to give away very soon. Great to take a trade before the market opens. Yeah, I suppose. New York opens soon enough, yeah. So we will be doing this giveaway. I'll do it in the next 7 minutes. So 7:15, we'll do this. Look at all these sellers. This whole profile just looks red. Right, so I've got it set up. I'm pretty sure this will work the way I've got it set up, which is perfect. it's looking like it's going to be. So let me just press next. Select who can participate in this giveaway. Yep. Okay. Activity minimum time. The user must be active. Yeah. So you know, as long as all you guys, you know, it's set to 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So what happens when I press done? I actually accidentally might release a winner right now. I'm going to press done, and hopefully it doesn't do it till 15 past, but if it does, that's fine. Okay, so we actually do have a couple of you guys. We have 4 entries, so I can go over here and go giveaway options again, and fast. Okay. So yeah, there will literally be a winner in 5 minutes, and I think the bot will announce it inside the chat, so that'll be cool. And then just literally send me a DM. Okay, look at these sellers. Look at that there, that's crazy. At that sort of rate, you know, definitely monitoring what's going to happen around here. But these sellers are just very, very powerful. Look at that, guys, literally level to level. You know, if we would have cracked these highs right here, you know, another pop would have been insane. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really think that we would have held this level simply because of just the amount of sellers that are coming in right now. It's just honestly insane. But look at this, big sells, big sells, big sells. You know, seeing what's going to happen around here, there's a lot of big sellers, right? I don't even know if buyers will end up wanting the pickup price from here. And plus, what are we? We're 1.4 points, so 14 ticks away. But there's daily POC, just got tapped. So let's see what happens around here. Look at that instant reaction from daily point of control. But yes, guys, keep on leaving the comments, and then as soon as the giveaway is live, which it will be in literally 4 minutes, so every time you comment, it's just extra inside the giveaway. Make sure you like and subscribe. But one of you guys will win, and then we'll do another one, and then literally just send me a DM inside the Discord, inside the chat, inside the Discord, and then make sure you are ready to claim this giveaway. Okay, so you'll have to claim it tonight. You have literally 24 hours to claim this code, and whatever you want. So it's between 25k and a 300k apex. So what? Actually, leave a comment what you guys are more likely to choose. Are you going to choose like a 25k, a 300k, or anything in between? Look at that rejection from daily point of control. That was pretty insane. Need to hop on the Discord real quick. Yeah. I'll see you in the Discord, bro. 50k. 50k is decent. Yeah, I prefer the 50ks. They're pretty solid. $50ks are really solid, actually. Right, we've been live for 1 hour, so far we definitely have some giveaway winners, that's for sure. Anyone that's in here pretty much talking, Michael, Pear, Homat, all you guys will more than likely be entered into the giveaway, which is cool because of all the comments. So just get some more coming in, and then we'll get these codes sent over ASAP, literally tonight. So make sure you guys are ready for tonight. So we actually got some, you know, I can't remember who said, someone said inside the chat, to go over to gold. Who was it? I can't remember. But someone said to check out GC, and there we go. You know, that was pretty decent analysis from GC. But yeah, so, you know, if you want anything else, you know, NQ, ES, crypto, whatever, it really does not matter to me. when it comes to order flow, it's pretty much all the same, right? It's like, buyer stepping in, seller stepping in. The only real difference is like getting a good read. Some of the order flow on certain assets is just horrible to get a good read. Whereas, anything major, is pretty decent. And that's actually another thing. If you want like Forex majors, like Euro USD and stuff, I could also go through them. Maybe do that actually. Let me just like go check it out and see what it looks like. Yeah, horrible, in my opinion. Yikes. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be my favorite. Yeah, so if you have anything that's like really fun, popping that high, just getting that instant like pop up. Literally, when you break these highs, you just get these crazy pops up. 50k are also my favorite, or 300k by using minis like micros. On the 50k, yeah, literally. I feel like that's very similar to what I do as well. So yeah, you guys have the choice. Yeah, look at this, top of this level right here. I did say 5 minutes ago, I did say that if we hit here, I don't know if we're going to hold it, especially there's like the sort of volume that's going to come in from here. So we'll see what's going to happen around here. Big buyer stepping in, but yeah, actually, right. So this giveaway will be in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Don't worry guys, right? So we have 3 giveaways planned, and it's whatever you guys want. Okay, so if you want 50k, 25k, 150k, 300k, it doesn't really matter. Coming close to that daily value very high. So let's see. But yeah, so you get to choose whatever. But I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. I will be back. I just need the bathroom. So so maybe send in some questions before I'm back, right? Well, it'll be 2 seconds. Okay, I am back. I am back. That. See. Ah, this is a rhythmic connection, right? Yeah. Ah, this is rhythmic. Let's see what happens around here. Right, so I'm going to draw this giveaway right now. This is going to be the first giveaway. So let me just get this all set up. Let's get this all set up. I prefer to trade on TradingView and just use level 2 data on Addis for order flow. Yeah, me too. That's actually crazy, me too. I had a lot of problems with Addis and prop firm order fills in the past. Yeah, you know, they do have that sort of issue, right? So I literally just do the level 2. Same as me. I instead of TradingView, I use TradingView. That's literally the only difference, but you can literally connect it to TradingView, which I did in the past, right? So I'm going to choose one winner already, and then obviously we got 2 more winners after this, so 3 winners altogether. So let me just click this button, and we'll see what's going on. So we got 1 winner so far. So congratulations, Michael. Oh, it's Michael. Right, there we go. That's cool. Okay, so if you stay in the live, and obviously we keep on going from here, there will be 2 more winners. Right, so literally just open up a ticket, and yeah, there we go. So that's perfect. So open up a new ticket inside the Discord, and within the next, half an hour, 45 minutes, we'll get you sorted with that. So there's the first winner, right? So you literally just let me know. Congratulations, Michael. So there's the first winner of the giveaway. Just literally go to the Discord, open up a ticket, and then once you got the ticket, let us know your preferred account size, and that'll be you good to go. And then we got 2 after this, okay? So make sure you guys liked and subscribed, and yeah, that's good to go. So we got 2 more after this, and then we can go from there. Thank you. I'll read you in the Discord. Nice one. Congratulations again, mate. So we'll actually get moved over to NQ while we've been on this next giveaway. This next giveaway will be in 20 minutes time from now, so make sure all you guys are active inside here, and we can be good to go. So we just get all these turned on to NQ. Huge drop from here. Congratulations. So yeah, keep the questions coming. Any questions whatsoever, keep them coming. Look at this. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. This was actually before, I think so. When someone recommended me GC, we were just looking around here, seeing if we could hold that. Let me actually get this moved over to here really quick and see what we're dealing with. Okay. So there we go. Congratulations, Michael. That's for sure. And yeah, we'll keep on going with this giveaway. So we got 2 more left. So I'll put this in. There we go. So let me just share this live one more time. So then we can, so make sure you guys are asking any questions, anything you guys need. I got you. So we got 2 more after this. Looks dark based in the UK. No. Oh yeah, looks dark in my background. Yeah. No, I'm from the UK. I'm from Ireland, but I'm currently traveling around Asia. But yeah, it's super dark, right? That's the view. It's pretty nice. It actually looks really cloudy. It's because I got my AC on. It's freaking roasting in Asia. It is roasting, toasting. But yeah. So let's see what this next giveaway is going to be. Looks like we're bringing these lows on NQ. Where are those lows? Look at that big bar stepping in. Seller's just obliterating. Follow through. Nothing really else going on. Let me just see this sort of little tight range. It's literally the next place I would TP. Let me just delete this. Look at CBD as well, guys. Like CBD is literally just falling off a cliff right now. And all these big sellers just pounding in past this level. What are your most frequently traded instruments? Mine would be GC. So I would trade mostly GC. It's just something I've traded for a long time. So I prefer to use it. The OrderFlow is nice. I like the way it moves. You know, a lot of like sort of balance, imbalance sort of areas, right? NQ is also really nice. But yeah, my preferred is definitely going to be GC. It's just kind of what I'm used to, right? To be honest, I'm seeing a lot of other people start moving to GC, which is quite crazy. You know, a lot of guys that do trade like NQ and stuff like that are actually moving over to GC. But yeah, so I would, you know, should be NQ, I guess. Yeah, it should be, right? But, well, or of NQ. ES is slow, yeah, ES is super slow. ES is super slow. GC is really fast paced, NQ is pretty fast paced. But I just, yeah, like you say, it's just super duper slow. I don't know a lot of guys that trade AES. There is, you know, obviously a lot of people that do trade it, but, you know, usually you just see the usual suspects trading like NQ, stuff like that. Scalper, yeah. So I'll pretty much just, you know, scalp within 5-10 minutes, right? But I could be sitting here all day. You know, that's the only thing. So if I just go over here, you know, something like this, right? You can't actually make this up, right? So look at this, the POC right over here. You know, break out of this range, come back in, tap this. What was Delta looking like? Delta wasn't too nice looking, right? But you started to see a little bit of pickup from here. But yeah, literally just a little short-term scalp, something like that, you know, where you're literally scalping from here to here. Obviously, this is like a crazy example, but usually I should literally, you know, from like balance to balance, really. I'm just catching that imbalance. Look at that there. So you can see here, just like an imbalance or balance range, imbalance, balance range, imbalance, balance sort of range, imbalance. You know, sort of like that, like drop base rally sort of style. You know, so you got like a, you know, drop, base, rally, base, drop, base, rally, drop, rally, base. You know, that sort of style. Now I'll just take it literally from base to base. Definitely feel like there's a little bit more of an edge doing that sort of stuff, because you're catching the bigger trade before, you know, and you're getting confirmation within order flow. It's not like you're just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna take this trade based off, I don't know, a hunch. Whereas like you could actually look at the order flow and say, okay, the order flow side of things is really nice. I really like what's happening here, and so on. So that's pretty much that whole reason there. But yeah, so we still have 2 more accounts to give away. I wish there was, is there a text tool? No text tool. No text tool. But, you know, I pinned a message anyway on the YouTube, so everyone pretty much already knows that we got 2 left to give away. So any account size, all you have to do is literally like, subscribe, leave a comment. A random winner will get picked, and I can't remember what the bot's name is. What is the bot called? Nightbot. So Nightbot will choose one of you guys as a winner. Of course you have to be active, and you have to be active within the last 5 minutes. So if you're gone and you come back and you're gone, you will not win. It won't happen. But if you're active within 5 minutes of me drawing the giveaway, then there you go. You could be the winner. So we broke daily value area low. Breaking pretty strong, right? Look at this. We literally came to here, just no looking back, right? Let's see if we come back out, test this, and then drop. That could be like a nice quick entry. Shout out to Nightbot. Yeah, shout out to Nightbot is right. Look at CBD. CBD is just falling off cliff right now. Crazy stuff. So far we have 1 winner. We've got 2 more to go, which will be cool. So let's see these winners start to come in. Look at those big sellers coming in. Holy schmoly. Crazy big sellers coming in. I'm here since last 45 minutes. How do I join giveaway, bro? It'll automatically come up. So as long as you have been here, you're already entered. If you comment and like and subscribe, you'll be entered. So, you know, if you've been here for 45 minutes, you've already commented because I could see your comment. And if you like and subscribe, then you're entered. And then all I have to do is just click a button, and that Nightbot thing will enter you in. So we already have 1 winner, we have 2 more to go, and then it just means you can choose whatever account size you really want. You can choose anywhere between 25 and 50k account size. So let's start to get these in. So yeah, our first winner was Michael. So congratulations, Michael. Obviously we have a few more. Faith lies with the Nightbot. Yeah, it does. It really does. It was recommended. Apparently the Nightbot is pretty good. We were doing them in the Discord, but I thought since it's Halloween coming up tomorrow, happy Halloween to everyone. I know a lot of you guys will be out partying, that's for sure. Some of you guys will be in back testing. So I thought, you know what, we'll do it on YouTube this time. Which it actually does seem to be a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie. So I might just start doing these on YouTube instead of like the entry inside the giveaway, inside the Discord. So not bad, not bad. Let's see. So how long you've been trading for? Since when I started making money? So like, making real money where I could actually like do things I want to do. Probably like the last 2 years, but I've been trading for like 5. Just trading for like 5. So pretty much just like, well, I think I actually could be closer to 6 now. It is closer to 6. I started like late 2019. But yeah, so but at the start, like for the first 2 or 3 years, it's just gaining a bunch of knowledge, putting it into practice, going back, reiterating, putting it into more practice, go back, reiterate, and so on, right? And then just keep on going from there. Look at this, we're getting a perfect retap here, so let's see what happens. But yeah, I've been literally trading for about 5-6 years, maybe could be 7, I don't even know. But yeah, pretty profitable for the last 2. Profitable in the sense where you could go like travel about, which I enjoy. I like traveling. So like currently I'm in Asia. I think it was last month, I was in Malaysia. This year I've been Thailand, Spain, pretty much everywhere. Advice you would give for a beginner. My advice for a beginner trader: focus on one thing, and then kind of like Frankenstein it. So like focus on, let's say for example, if you trade like fair value gaps, that's pretty much what everyone trades these days. So I'll just give you a piece of advice there. Let's say you trade fair value gaps, looking into it and being like, okay, so like I could actually draw one because they're really simple, literally just a pattern. Like when I first started trading, the patterns were like triangle patterns and stuff. Now they're like fair value gaps and stuff, but like so looking into the fair value gaps and then start Frankensteining things on. So okay, statistical analysis. What about the order flow? Is there sellers coming in here? Is there buyers being absorbed here? What's going on at this fair value gap that I would actually want to trade this? So you start adding things to it, and then things that don't work you can start taking away. And then it might take you like 2 or 3 months just to get something that actually is actionable. And then once you have that, then you'll be able to say, okay, with confidence, I'm going to start trading prop firms, or I'm going to start trading my own personal capital. And then that's where you start really growing as a trader. But until that point, you're going to have to really put in a bunch of time, into the back end of things, which is going to be strategy development. So yeah, pretty much just finding what works for you. Whether I know guys that are very successful trading Fibonacci levels, right? Like very successful actually trading Fibonacci levels, and it's literally because they have Frankenstein things together. Whether it's like statistical analysis, whether it's order flow analysis, and different types of order flow analysis that works for you, right? Because there's a I don't know if I could actually say it on YouTube, but there is a famous trading sayings where there's a million ways, put it that way. How much funded are you currently? I'm quite a bit funded, so right now I'm trying to stack up as many fundeds as possible. So I'm pretty much just trading evals like the rest of you guys. But funded, I'm funded like 300 with Apex. I've as well, right? So I was funded with Top Step, and because I went to Vietnam, that I can't trade Top Step. They won't let me into the account, so I ended up losing my funded accounts just because I'm in Vietnam. How crazy is that? I'm not even from freaking Vietnam. So they turn around and say, you can't trade, you're in Vietnam. But Apex don't really have a problem with it. So that Apex is the best. Obviously, code Fall Instruments on Apex, 80% off. But yeah, a lot of prop firms, especially, they're not travel friendly. A lot of prop firms are not travel friendly. So if you're traveling around and you're funded, make sure to check your prop firms first. That's for sure. Look at this perfect rejection, guys. I literally said like 5 minutes ago that I'm going to keep this on just in case we come back out. Quick scalp from here wouldn't have been bad. How many points? How many ticks? 116 ticks. If you would have just took that quick rotation right down to here. Bro, how do you get order flow charts for free? There's so many websites. There's so many different types of websites. Like, I would say just go with Addis. Addis is really cool. They have a free start plan. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure like what goes on inside the free start plan. Let me see if the settings. Actually, I kind of there's like some sensitive information up there. But look at that. As soon as we touch those orders, just a straight little pump. Look at that, guys. Just to show you, like, this is crazy. Literally straight on that POC. I've been saying, like, I think I've been saying this for like the whole entire live stream. But just quickly, that little POC is a TP. Perfect. But yeah, go with Addis. Addis is really cool. There's like Go Charting. There's Sierra Charts. There's Motive Wave. There's so many. There's so many, and a new one is popping up every single day. There's a few traders like Fabio and Andre. They're starting one called Deep Charts. Really cool stuff. Deep Charts looks really cool. Can we use OrderFlow charts on Forex? Yes. So, but instead of trading the Forex pairs, because the problem with trading Forex and OrderFlow is so I'll just show you really quick. So here's a Forex pair right here. So this is 6E, right? So you're going to want to trade the futures contract instead of the underlying. So like instead of the CFD really. So Euro USD is just going to be 6E, and you're just going to really want to trade from there because it's a centralized exchange. So let's say, for example, I don't know, Oanda or Forex.com or whatever the asset provider is. So like whatever your broker is, that will be the only order flow data you'll get. So that's the problem with that, right? So if you turn around, look at this, by the way, guys, this is crazy. That was a perfect retest here. That was a beautiful retest. But yeah, if you only trade with a certain broker, then you'll only see a certain broker's Forex data for order flow. But if you trade like a centralized exchange from the CME, so like 6E from the CME, you're literally you're still trading Euro USD, but just centralized, which means a lot of other people will be looking at the exact same data. Do you use Bookmap? No. Bookmap is good actually though. Like it does have like its perks and stuff, but everything in Bookmap you can get on Addis and more, right? So like I know a lot of you guys will look at Bookmap and you'll say about the heat map sort of style on Bookmap. There's the heat map right there on Addis. So pretty much got the exact same sort of thing as Bookmap. It's just, in my opinion, just a little bit better. Not a little bit better actually. It's quite a bit better. On the Addis 14-day free plan, you can use the Plus plan and connect level 2 data from any provider, or with an active evaluation account on MFFU, you can use or Volumetrica for free. That's actually really cool. That's good information. So yeah, there you go, guys. 14-day free trial on Addis. You can use level 2, which is literally this. So this is all level 2 right here. Another cool one would be like you can get this connect AMP, for example, like AMP the broker, and they give you like, I'm pretty sure they give you like 14 days minimum of rhythmic data. So this is like the same thing. So yeah, if I win the giveaway, I'm going to try Addis. Perfect. That's really cool. Use Quantar. Yes, there's another one, Quantar. Use Quantar for a while, then move to Ninja. That's cool. Yeah, Quantar is actually pretty popular as well. There's actually so many order flow platforms out there. How do you know if you won the giveaway? So very soon, so within the next, what time is it now? 7:45. So literally within the next 5 minutes, actually we'll do it at 10:02, so in the next 7 minutes I will click a button and the giveaway will then, boom, it'll send in and it'll tag you inside the comments. So Michael literally won like 5 minutes ago, maybe 5 minutes ago. My time is very off, but yeah, so Michael won like 5 minutes ago. Addis goes for the test if I get the giveaway. Yeah, Addis is really cool stuff. Can Michael win again? No. So once you win once, I'll win again. I'll do it again. But the thing here is that if, let's say for example it does do Michael. So sorry Michael, you only won once today. But you know, if you win again, I'll re-roll it so it gives someone else a fair chance. Michael, I'm okay with one. Yeah. Cheeky Mike. There you go. You know, we'll have another 2 winners anyway, 2 different winners. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so literally just make sure you guys are liked and subscribed, and you are leaving a comment. So if you're watching this, make sure you leave a comment inside here, and we'll do the next giveaway, and then we have one more giveaway planned after that, and then that'll be us for the Halloween giveaway. How did you learn OrderFlow? So I literally studied like for years. So I went back and forth between like everything. And see, to be honest, I think the reason I like Addis so much is if you go to Addis.com or Addis.net, I think it is, and they have a blog, right? And inside, honestly, the best information was coming from that blog. I used to get books from like the CME, or not CME. Was it CME? I can't remember, but it was like this. Yeah, it could have been CME. I can't remember. I'll post it inside the Discord anyway. If you text me inside the Discord, I will send it in because it'll remind me. But I had this book that I would literally just read, go over like every single night, trying to understand the profiles and stuff. And this was like from like the 70s. Market profile. Oh, it wasn't CME. It was CBOT. CBOT. So CBOT stands for Chicago Board of Trades, and I would literally sit there every night, just looking at what the big guys were doing. You know, why are they doing this? You know, if patterns are so powerful, then why are these big guys using market profiles? Why are these big guys using OrderFlow? So I would literally just go on, look at the CBOT, read all that, and then I would go over to Addis and like say, okay, what does this mean? What does this concept mean? Why does this concept work? I think, you know, anyone that's first learning OrderFlow now is like so lucky to have AI. You know, you could literally just sit there and chat with AI all day about like some setups that you have, why they work, why they don't, you know, and so on. You can literally plug your data, which I do. I literally plug in all my trades inside the AI, and then you could see like, okay, what would my risk to reward be? Like, how much more points would I get if I used, if I, you know, like if you're tracking like MAE, so maximum adverse excursion, maximum favorable excursion, stuff like that. If you're tracking all them sort of things, you can get some really cool stuff within AI, and you can figure out like, okay, I would have gained an extra $2,000 this month if I literally would have just had my stop loss 2 points difference. You know, anything like that, right? Which trading book you suggest us to read except Trading in the Zone? CBOT, that's for sure. So Chicago Board of Trades. So if you look up CBOT, so CBOT, CBOT Market Profile, it's a PDF from like the 70s. It has to be from at least the 70s. Read that, and then you go over and then read, go on to Addis and look at their blog and just read everything they have to say inside their blog. Very, very good traders over at Addis. You know, you would have to be a really good trader to have some of the tools on here as well. So, you know, great stuff, great stuff. So the next giveaway will literally be in 2 minutes, so make sure you guys are still active. Again, if you leave this live and then come back like 2 minutes later, it won't register. So you have to stay on this live. I don't know why, it's just, it said that on the, I can't even remember the bot's name now, Ninja Bot I think it was. Yeah, there's some free game for you guys. That's pretty much where I got like the majority of my information from. You know, we're talking like 2019, 2020, there was no one trading OrderFlow, and now I see everyone trading OrderFlow. It's insane. I guess, you know, it's a selection bias though, because I'm in OrderFlow, so I can see, I'm mainly looking at OrderFlow stuff, so I suppose that might be selection bias, but yeah, a lot of guys do trade that sort of stuff now. So let's see, right around here, we go to GC again. Your fingers are crossed. Don't worry. So even if one of you guys win, there's going to be another giveaway in like 2 minutes. Well, not 2 minutes. Well, literally in 1 minute. So at 50. So what time is it now? In the next 20 seconds, we will do another giveaway, and then there will be one more after this. Okay, so we have 2 more giveaways. One is in the next 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and the next one will be. Sorry, this kind of got me off guard here. Look at this, guys. So I was saying about this first level, right? So I'll go over this and then I'll quickly do this giveaway, right? So this first one right over here, I was saying that most of you guys actually have been here since I was talking about this, but we literally broke out of this sort of range, popped up. I'm gonna have to go clip that and make that into a short. But we ended up popping up from here. Perfect reaction, right? Came back down, ended up hitting around this point of control. Not quite this one. Came back up, hit this POC, right? Look at this. Perfect reaction from here, realistically. There's a bunch of big sellers coming in, I'm pretty sure. There was big sellers coming in on this one, sorry. Came back down, came all the way back down to here. Look at this, pretty much no reaction from here. Came back up, tapped this area once again, back down once again. Both are basically waiting like our setup, right? Okay, this is going to be the next one. So, this giveaway will be right now. So let me choose a winner. So I'm about to choose a winner, and the next giveaway will be in literally 25 minutes from now. Okay, so good luck, guys. One of you guys should win. Fingers crossed. Let's see who won this one. 542 won the giveaway. So there we go. We got yes. There's the winner. There's the winner. Okay, so there we go. So now all you have to do is just go to the Discord, type in the Discord. We still got one giveaway, guys. Okay, so we got one giveaway left. So whatever account size you want, whether you want 50k, 25k, 300k, 150k, 200k, it's all good. So whatever you guys want, just send it inside the Discord and we will get you sorted out there. But yes, we have one more giveaway left, okay, after this. Let me turn off the chat moderation for this bot though, because I don't really like that, right? It's kind of silly. So yeah, so we have one more giveaway after this. So let me know how to claim. Join the Discord, open up a ticket, and let me know your account size that you want. And then after this live stream, I'll go and send you everything you need to know. You need to claim it within literally 24 hours. If you don't claim it within 24 hours, we're gonna have to re-roll it and give it to someone else. So I'm sure most of you guys will end up claiming this anyway. But we've had some problems where some guys haven't claimed in the past. But yes, anyone that is just joining, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment, and you can win this last giveaway. This is the final and last giveaway for the Halloween giveaway. So we're giving away 3 accounts, and we get literally 2 days ago we gave away a bunch of other accounts. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the other giveaways. If you literally watch like the last live stream or 2, we literally give away a lot more accounts as well. So a little favor to get back to everyone that's supporting the journey. I'm sure a lot of you guys will appreciate that as well, which is really cool. But yeah, so literally just go on, leave a comment, and then fingers crossed. Make 2 more giveaways for your fans, bro. I will. Bro, how to claim? Yeah, literally just join the Discord. So just join the Discord, send me a message inside there, and then you'll be able to claim it. So literally that simple. But yes, I'll do another couple giveaways as well, so don't worry about that. Just tune into these lives, leave the comments, make sure you're liked and subscribed, and then boom, we can work from there. So yeah, we've literally got one last giveaway coming up, and that'll be perfect for all you guys to get entered in. But yes, so perfect. Thanks, bro, for the good luck. Thanks, man. Yeah, so we literally, within the next 25 minutes maximum. Yeah, 25 minutes, it seems about right. 20 past 7. 7 o'clock my time. And then we'll do this final giveaway. So just make sure you're liked and subscribed. Simple as that. And then we'll re-roll it again. If another person that won before wins again, then we'll re-roll. So everyone's got a chance here, which is perfect. And then we will have another giveaway live inside the Discord. So we'll put the giveaway details inside the Discord, and then obviously every single day you can just join through our WAP page, and then you'll be able to win inside there. So if you pretty much just join the WAP, go on and spin the wheel every single day, you know, you can win like PS5s and stuff. You know, it's all automated, so you could literally just go in there. You don't even need me to send you the details or nothing. So that's really cool stuff. But yeah, congratulations to our winners. Is my name on the list? You know what, I could check that for you. So we go giveaways. Yep. Let me check. Paralyzer. I'm sure it is. Yes, your name is on the list. There's a lot of guys actually on the list. You wouldn't think it, but there's actually quite a few guys on there. Even my name, yeah. So there we go. Just, you know, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Okay, so we'll draw this live very soon. But yeah, so if you're new here, make sure you enter into the giveaway. It's very, very simple. But yeah, looking over this, we this is GC. Yeah, you could just tell. I'm sure most of you guys could literally tell this is GC. But yeah, that was, you know, earlier on. Came up, hit this level, got a nice rejection. Hit this level, got a really nice rejection. Where do we come down to? Let me see. Getting down to here. So obviously we've you know, supported from once, supported from twice. So let's see what happens. I know I won't win it anyways because I never want to give away. You never know. You never know. Anyone could win. Anyone could win. You know, everyone's only got one chance to win, so you have just as much of a chance as anyone else. Plus, if you join the Discord, scroll down, click giveaway, you can enter into more giveaways. Let me just go and double check everything within here. Congratulations, Michael, that's right. So yeah, guys, just keep on entering. I'm sure most of you guys will end up winning. So we will have another winner coming out very, very shortly. Yesterday we had quite a few winners actually, but again, some of these prizes go on claim. Guys, believe it or not, there's guys that win the giveaways and don't even claim the prizes. Isn't that crazy? Reverse psychology. That's funny. How there is so dark where you live. Oh yeah, I'm in Asia. So yeah, it obviously the accent doesn't sound like I'm traveling, but I am. I'm currently in Asia. Look at this huge dump off right now into this level. Crazy. So, but yeah, I'm currently in Asia. Traveling around. Last month I was in Malaysia. Then right now I'm sitting in Vietnam. This year I've pretty much been all over the place. Next year I don't know what I'm doing next year for like the New Year's and stuff. If you got any recommendations on where to go for like the New Year celebration, let me know. I send you a message, mate. Nice one. So let's just double check. Perfect. There we go. I got the message. So that will be yours very, very soon. But yeah, so if you guys have any recommendations on where to go for the New Year's, let me know. Okay, we're going to retest this level like we did on NQ. On NQ, we literally had this set up like 5 minutes ago. Let's see if we retest. This is the main retester, right? This one right above here, but we'll see. Buyers are still pretty active around here. But yeah, this is like the really determinant level right around here. So let's see. Plus it lines up with that daily point of control. There's actually a lot of interest right around here. So we'll see. Look what that POC is right on this candle as well. I'll just shift it. There's 8 o'clock. Let's see. Look at that volume just kick in at 8. Like clockwork, guys, like clockwork. So yeah, if you guys have any recommendations on where to go for New Year celebrations, let me know. Next giveaway will be in 25 minutes maximum. Probably about 20 minutes. It's 8:20 at night here on a Thursday. Tomorrow's obviously Halloween, so I'm not going to be live. But we will be live back to our usual on Monday. But congratulations so far to the 2 winners. Go India. I've never been. Two comments go to India. I've never been, guys. So I might. Right, so we literally just have this level. Let's see what happens around here. So let me just remove some of this noise because this is starting to get really messy. Okay, we tap that level. Tap both these levels. Look at that, that's crazy, just the volume. Yeah, we can remove this. Anyone that was watching the live already knows how these levels held up perfectly, realistically. And we can remove this as well. Let's start getting a fresh look at things, right? So we obviously have this full entire, let's see. Those sellers, look at all those sellers right here at this high. Crazy amount of sellers. Perfect reaction from here straight off. Nothing around here. Let's see if we just get this little tiny tight range. Look at that. Crazy tight range. Let me see. So we have this little tiny tight range right here as well. So see what happens around here. Realistically, if we continue on going down from here, this will be insane. But yeah, we got another one more final live stream planned, and then obviously this weekend I will announce the other giveaways inside the Discord. So if you guys are just joining in, one more giveaway left, and then we'll go from there. So make sure you guys comment in what you guys want to see, all the sort of giveaway stuff you guys are interested in, and then we'll see from there. But yeah, so not much going on. As long as you guys like, subscribe, and put a comment right inside here, inside the live chat, you'll be able to win the giveaway. All it takes is one comment right? But you can't. You have to be active inside here for at least 5 minutes. So the next one will be in 30 minutes. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. The next one will be in 20 minutes maximum, maybe 15 minutes. So I'll redo this message really quick and post this in. So just, there we go, and that's it. So now we just gotta wait, guys. Just gotta wait. Wow, look at that for a reaction. That's just insane. Let me pull this full range and see what we're dealing with. So this full sort of area. This up here is dominating, right? So let's see what we're dealing with around here. I have to go. Thank you, Ronan, and enjoyed the New York cash session. Thank you, bro. I'll see you the next one. I'm glad you won, mate. Congratulations on the win, and I will get you sent over that code ASAP after this live stream. So congratulations again to Michael. So we have 2 more giveaways, or not, sorry, we did have 2 more giveaways, but we just gave away one like 5 minutes ago, and we only got 1 more giveaway left, and then after that you could just join inside the Discord. But again, I don't really want to make this all about giveaways, right? It's more about the analysis, guys. It's more about the analysis, come on. You know, with literally just this trade alone earlier, you guys probably could have skimmed off an easy prop firm pass right here. Like, how many ticks did we move up to that level? This was right around here. I'll give it like the worst possible entry. Let's say you literally entered on the top of that tick. Yeah, 10 points. You know what I mean? What are we looking at per con? 1,000 per contract. So literally just 3 contracts alone, and you would have passed any Apex count. You know, just off that little one trade alone. So, you know, I'm sure most of you guys. But I do know there was a couple guys looking at this sort of setup. I think it was from, if I just pull this a little bit differently. I think it was from here actually. Let me just pull this wheel range as well. Yep. So it was from here, and I do know a few of you guys inside the Discord actually took this because it was like literally prime setup with CVD absorption, right? You had absorption from big trades, didn't have any B shapes, and that's why I have those 3 setups. Is literally because you have CVD showing absorption, you have the B or P shape profiles showing absorption, you have big trades showing absorption, and then you also have the imbalances showing absorption. So if I just go over here, you have all these sell imbalances starting to come in, you know, not really letting us go anywhere. Mike, let us know in the Discord how your eval goes. Yeah, definitely. So send in all the progress with everything. I think Mike seems like a pretty decent order flow trader, right? He was asking all the right sort of questions, so let's see how everything goes. Yeah, exactly. And the other guy, and he had that. So make sure you guys go in there and send in all the trades. That is definitely going to be what we're all looking forward to. I should actually make that a requirement, right? If you win, at least send in like 3 trades. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure most of you guys will actually enjoy the evals and stuff like that. You won't waste them or squalor them. Don't degen. Yes, exactly. Do not degen these accounts. This next giveaway will be in 10 minutes. 10 minutes for the final giveaway. And then we do have more giveaways planned after this, so don't you guys worry. Don't you guys worry. So let's see. So watch any other YouTube live stream shows, yeah. Let's see. Like PW Alpine Nutty. Patrick Wheeland. That's the only one I know. I'm actually not sure about Alpine or Nutty. PW's Patrick Wheeland, isn't it? Okay, so in 10 minutes we got this other giveaway. And we'll see where we go from here. Of course, guys, stay for the analysis, not the giveaways. Look at all those big sellers coming in. What did I delete the profile that was literally sitting here? It's just going to show I'm literally working on autopilot. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, the same POC. Just goes to show, like, look at this price area, right? Like, even over here, this is that the Deepak? No, it's the range point. So, like, you know, even over here, just the volume at this level, what is this level? Psychological or something? Yeah, 3990 psychological. Here for the analysis. Nice, nice, nice. That's what I like to see. So yeah, literally just one last final giveaway and that's it. And that's what I like to see. Here for the analysis. And then we'll do the final giveaway. And then we can go on to the next ones, right, which will be tomorrow or the next day. I'll have them sent inside the Discord. But yeah, these evals, don't be DJing these evals, guys, please. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Watched every single video last week. Nice one. Fingers crossed you win, bro. Fingers crossed. So what do we got here? This just sort of whipsaw news event. Make 2 giveaways from me and Paralyzer, bro. We both deserve it. Isn't it? Yeah. Well, if you join in next week, we'll have more giveaways. So you don't have to worry about that. There will always be a giveaway with enforcements. So that's good. That's cool. So either one of you guys will probably win. But there could be other guys in here that are watching, trying to get this win. And then we'll go from there. So, looking at this, coming over close to the sell and balance, right? Some big sells coming in, big buyers coming in, getting absorbed. Do you trade throughout the day? Yeah, pretty much. I trade like certain sessions. So I have these refined sessions, which are pretty cool. So it just tells me like where the most volatility is, and then I just trade within them. Just because I like getting like decent moves and stuff from that sort of style, you know, is within my style anyway. I know a lot of guys like, you know, trade differently and stuff, but Yeah, just trading it inside the refined sessions. Going to dance right now if I win. Yeah. We literally got 6 minutes left, so make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm positive one of you guys have definitely liked and subscribed, that's for sure. So yeah. Pretty much just this rangy movement is not my favorite, right? Not bad to trade inside, I suppose. Like you literally just long the bottoms and stuff. But wait until we hit this range point of control, see what's happening from here. There's only 5 minute open, so let's see what happens. We just tap those sell imbalances. I want to see sellers just start cascading this. Look at the CBD has just been falling off all day. All these big moves up is literally just sellers closing. That's crazy stuff. Alright, we got 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Or not even 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So, not long to go now, guys, until the next giveaway. Obviously, it's getting late for me, so I'm going to literally wrap this up very, very soon. Then obviously the winners just DM me inside the Discord and I will get back to you guys. Look at this. Sideways movement. $30 minutes. Let's go, I'm feeling lucky. Fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Do you look at delta flips? Not really, no. Not really. I feel like they're not bad, obviously. Like, it kind of goes hand in hand. But, it's definitely different. Your current win rate, it really depends. So, like, I have like about 9 setups with different win rates. So, like, I have a setup for, let's just say, for example, I'll just, why not? I'll just give it out, okay, guys. So the P and B shape profiles, right? We hit a key level. I will give this away. Okay, so we hit a key level. Let's just say one of these range points of control, right? We hit this range point of control. That's my entry level, and then my entry confirmation, P or B setup, and then the entry criteria or the entry zone will be that POC of that candle. So that's literally just the easiest way to look at the setups. Is you got entry level, entry confirmation, entry zone. That's going to be the easiest setup, and then the same applies, right? So I have supply and demand, so SR POC, DR POCs. I have P and B shape profiles. I have CVD absorption. I have imbalance absorption. I have big trades absorption, and then I also have continuation, right? So I have the continuation setups where we don't actually necessarily see absorption, but we do see the sort of continuation from there. This was actually a really cool example, right, where you had a bunch of sellers stepping in, and then look at this. Buyers. This is like prime example, by the way. Like, this is my perfect A1 setup. So anyone that's in the Discord or in the mentorship sort of thing, they'll already know that, like, whenever you have A, B, C setup sort of thing, it works out pretty well. So all different win rates for all different sorts of things. I don't have just, like, I know a lot of you guys more than likely will only have one setup, whereas I'm not like that. I'll have a couple. All with different win rates. Right, we are 30 seconds away from this last giveaway, and we've been live for 2 hours. 2 hours so far. That's crazy. And then obviously guys, if you do not win this giveaway, you can always do the next one, which is perfectly fine. And we always have a giveaway. We have a giveaway literally every single month. Next giveaway is going to be huge. Huge next giveaway. So fingers crossed for that. Let me just go in here. Let me see. Okay, there's 2020 guys. So let's just double check. So just leave a comment inside the chat if you're ready. Just spam ready. So once we get at least one ready, that is when we will do this giveaway. So we got the ready. There we go. That's all I need to see. Okay guys, let's see. So let me just make sure everything's looking good. Fingers crossed guys. Let's see who's gonna win this next one. So boom. Let's see who's winning. Pairwiser. There you go. Is he active in the chat, guys? Then obviously, don't worry. We still have another giveaway. For all you guys that don't win, we still have another giveaway after this. Not tonight, tomorrow, or the next day. Well deserved. Very well deserved. Very well deserved. DM me inside Discord and I will get you the winnings. Just choose your account size. Choose what you're looking for. And then let me go. Of course, we will get that solved anyway for the 3 winners. So we have 3 winners: Pairwiser and Michael. Okay, so there we go. We have 3 winners tonight. And obviously guys, if you did not win, don't worry. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys were looking forward to winning. Can't win them all. So the next time we do a giveaway, join the live, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and we will get you the winning sorted. Direct DM, yeah, direct DM, or just straight in the Discord. Just open up a ticket. That would probably be easier. And then obviously, if we need to do a re-roll or anything, like let's say for example someone doesn't want it, I don't know, whatever the reason is, we will come back on and do this giveaway on Monday. Okay, so we will see you in the next one.